is gonna take crackerjack timing, Wayne.
Total concentration. You ready, Jack?
I was born ready.
Welcome to the Deplorable Nation podcast. Make sure you visit our website at www.deplorable-nation.com. I wonder what we could really do with the website if we didn't have jobs and could just concentrate all of our time to it without having to work or take care of kids or other life issues. I really enjoy working with Alan. We're really, really fortunate to have her there. I'll put her up against any writer, anywhere, anytime. If she had the same approach to doing news as the mainstream media did, she would be so much more awesome. See, she's contained to the truth and how it affects us. And when it's her opinion, she pretty much tells you it's her opinion. The mainstream media don't need that. All they do is lie, tell the truth, twist the truth, filter the truth, put some more lies in there, put their own spin on it. But they do make sure that they get their own corporate agenda in there because that's what they do best. They're a bunch of liars, cheats, and hacks. That's all they are. And if anyone out there, I mean, not that anybody listens anyway, but if anybody's out there and you're listening to the mainstream media and you're like, oh yeah, maybe they're right. They're lying to you. They do not have your best interest at heart. They don't. They have their corporate interest at heart. The mainstream media, I'm going to get off subject here, but the reason the mainstream media is so touchy about this fake news thing is because for years and years and years, their lies, their filtering of truth, their agenda was never challenged. Now, some of the media sources out there have started challenging them, and certainly we will at deplorable-nation.com. Make sure you get the hyphen in there. We will definitely challenge them anytime that we see them lying or filtering the truth or doing anything like that in any way. Okay, that got me all off course there and off subject and whatever, but it's all true. If you're out there and if you believe the mainstream media, you're stupid. I'm just telling you, if you believe them, you're stupid. The other thing is some of these pundits that claim to be, right side, conservative type people that are on Twitter and other social media, some of them are just as big of retards as the mainstream media is too. I mean, don't lionize these people because they're not there for your best interest a lot of times too. They're out there to project their own brand and to make money and all that stuff like that, which I don't blame them, but I think that you should go out and explore a lot of different things as far as news and information are concerned. Don't go just to one place, but I think it should be several places you get your news, then you make your own opinion. I hate to tell you, but I'm sorry, some of these people on the right that are on Twitter, they're just there for their own brand, and they're basically a bunch of self-promoters. And if you get on Twitter or Facebook long enough, you'll be able to root them out pretty quick. Me, deplorable-nation.com, I don't make any money. I don't have any ads, and I'm doing this because it's fun. It gets this stuff off my chest. I have a lot of things to say sometimes. And to be honest, I'm new at this still, and a lot of times I want to say stuff and I can't get it out or whatever, but practice makes perfect. And I really want to thank everyone that's listened so far. I really appreciate you, and I'm happy you're here. Okay, Attorney General Sessions has basically recused himself from investigating any issues from the Trump campaign that may come up with Russian interference or the Trump campaign contacting the Russians and for whatever reason. I mean, I have no idea what they're talking about. What was his offense? Did Sessions sell the Russians 20% of our uranium? Was he the one that was sitting on stage and had one of them hot mic moments and he said, hey, wait until after the election when the administration has more flexibility? Did he do that? Nope, he didn't do anything wrong. And what really is demoralizing is there's a number of Republicans in the Congress calling him to recuse himself. For what? What did he do wrong? They're saying that he wasn't forthright with a question that Senator Al Franken asked him during his confirmation. It looks like he had 2 meetings with the Russian ambassador last year. He stated that he did not discuss the Trump campaign with him. So what does he have to cover up? Any meetings between any person in the Trump campaign and any Russian official is now a scandal, manufactured by the institutional left and its corporate media. Their desire to destroy the Trump campaign is overwhelming and psychotic at times. I won't be the first one to tell you, but they're not going to stop. Once they got General Flynn, the blood was in the water and they were the sharks, and they're going to continue to attack until they get someone else. It's like they're throwing stuff up against the wall and see what's going to stick. They may get lucky and have something stick there and they got them. Who knows? But there's no proof of anything to this point. All of these senators, all these representatives, whether you're Republican or you're a Democrat, they all talk to diplomats, ambassadors, to these foreign nations. It's not a big secret. However, now it's a talking point for the institutional left. We're back in the Cold War again, and somehow Trump and his campaign are now talking to the Russians, and it's a big deal. The Republicans that are in the Congress, many of them are to blame as well. They don't have the balls to stand up to the Democrats. They just sit there, silent and compliant, while the Democrats continue this onslaught against Trump and his administration. And it's not going to stop anytime soon. It empowers these left-wing wackos to continue this witch hunt. What will the Republicans do? Sit on their hands and be a group of wimps. So I sat there and I asked myself, where is all this crap coming from? So I look on the internet. Fox News reported yesterday. This is from Fox News. In the final hours of Barack Obama's presidency, some White House officials reportedly raced to spread and preserve information about possible communications between associates of then-candidate Donald Trump and Russians. The New York Times, citing former American officials, reported that these officials were concerned that the information they were gaining on the Russian meddling in the election and the possible campaign contact could be compromised with the new administration, and they wanted to set up any future investigation with the information. According to the Times, after Obama asked for an investigation into Russian tampering into the elections, officials found some damning evidence. A former intelligence official confirmed to Fox News that the Obama administration was determined to keep the Russian issue alive, and data on Moscow's election interference was circulated broadly. The usual intelligence practice is to circulate assessments privately, but such was the gravity of Russia's actions that there were 2 versions, one for the public to digest and the other classified, the former official said. The New York Times reported that intelligence agencies pushed forward as much raw intelligence as they could analyze. The intelligence reports were also reportedly labeled a low classification level, so they would be accessible to more government workers and some European allies. The Obama officials reportedly wanted to make sure that as many individuals with the proper clearances could see the intelligence. One of the tactics reportedly used was that officials asked pointed questions during intelligence briefings. The report said the answers to those questions are archived. So after looking at that bit of news, it makes you wonder. It appears that the Obama administration had authorized our intelligence agencies to investigate Trump and his campaign. What were they doing? It looks like they were investigating a sitting United States Senator, Jeff Sessions, for no reason. I mean, what were they investigating him for? Were they intercepting the phone calls made by Trump and his campaign staff? And if they were, how long were they doing it? All the Democrats want to do is call Trump and any of his supporters Nazis. If you're investigating someone or a group of people just for their political party affiliation or beliefs, it appears that they, in fact, are the Nazis. Or whatever you want to call them. I personally would firstly call them criminals. There's been no mention of any crimes taking place. None. All we do is hear this never-ending Russian scenario, and there's not one lick of evidence to back it up. I mean, is this a police state or what? Unlawful surveillance and propaganda. Yeah, it's called propaganda. The corporate media is just an arm of the institutional left. It spreads propaganda, which we call fake news, but make no mistake about it, it's just propaganda. And it's used to undermine its opponents. All these Obama plants that are still left in the government are basically, I don't know, would you call it like some kind of coup? Plain and simple, what else can it be? The final days of the Obama administration, the NSA, they have expanded powers per Obama, and basically what it is the NSA can now share globally intercepted personal communications of our 16 intelligence agencies before applying privacy protections. And basically all that means is that now they can share it, don't have to shield who was talking or what their official capacity is, so now more people can leak it. You know, they must have been really eavesdropping on Trump's campaign, wiretapping whatever they were doing, spying on them. Our own government spying on a political figure in its campaign. I mean, it's just absolutely... If I would have thought, I would be crazy talking about this a year ago. Somebody would be talking like this, I think they were a nut. But it's sad to say it probably happened. This was the real attack on our election. It wasn't the big bad Russians. It wasn't a bunch of hackers. It was our own government. And what's the Republicans in Congress going to do? They're going to sit on their hands and be a bunch of wimps and do nothing. We'll be back right after this message.
In your search for political news, opinion, and current events, go to www.deplorable-nation.com. Weekly podcasts explore issues and information not covered by the mainstream media. You can also find news and opinionated articles written by lead commentator Al Lin, as well as others that bring you true news of the day. Do not let your news get filtered by the mainstream corporate media. Go to www.deplorable-nation.com.
Well, the president addressed a full session of Congress, and, as expected, he was in command. This speech was legendary. It left the Democrats sitting there with the I am a douchebag look on their face. It was epic. And the other thing was, what was all the women doing in all the white clothing there? I can't figure it out. President Trump was in command during this speech. It was powerful, patriotic, invoked God, and gave a clear accounting of what he has accomplished so far and where he is intending to steer the country in the coming months and years. The moment when he recognized William Ryan Owens and his widow, Corinne, who was present, the president remarked, "Ryan's legacy is etched into eternity. Thank you." She was in tears. Most everybody there probably was in tears. I was in tears. It was one of the most powerful, genuine moments of any speech by any president. The president took to Twitter today, and as usual, he did not disappoint. He tweeted, "Jeff Sessions is an honest man. He did not say anything wrong. He could have stated his response more accurately, but it was clearly not intentional. This whole narrative is a way of saving face for the Democrats losing an election that everyone thought they were supposed to win. The Democrats are overplaying their hand. They lost the election, and now they have lost their grip on reality. The real story is all the illegal leaks of classified and other information. It is a total witch hunt." He also went ahead and tweeted, "It is so pathetic that the Dems have still not approved my full cabinet." And he's right there. I mean, we still have some people missing, and head clown Chuck Schumer, Senate Minority Leader, is dragging his feet and openly advocating obstructionist behavior. But what would you expect of the head clown? President Trump also tweeted, and I really like this one, "We should start an immediate investigation into Senator Schumer and his ties to Russia and Putin. A total hypocrite." And there was a picture of Schumer and Putin some years ago eating donuts and drinking coffee. I thought it was great. It basically puts things in perspective, really. The Democrats in this Russian narrative, it's retarded. The president again tweeted, "I hereby demand a second investigation, after Schumer, of Pelosi for her close ties to Russia and lying about it." Again, the president attached a picture with Pelosi and the Russian ambassador sitting with a group at a table. Pelosi said that she has not met with the current Russian ambassador, but there's a picture of her sitting at a table with him, with a group of people, obviously discussing whatever items of the day they were talking about. The article that the president attached with this picture was from Politico, and it stated, "Not with this Russian ambassador, no," Pelosi told Politico's Jake Sherman and Anna Palmer during a Playbook interview. One asked whether she had ever met with the Russian envoy, but a file photo from Pelosi's 2010 meeting with Russian diplomats, you see her sitting at a table across from the ambassador. She was the House Speaker at the time. Asked to square Pelosi's comments with the photo of the meeting, a spokesman said Pelosi simply meant that she never had a solo meeting with the ambassador. But wait a minute. Now you have Attorney General Jeff Sessions having to recluse himself about anything that happened with Trump's campaign and the Russians. I would say this is total bullshit. That's just how I'm going to call it. But what else would you expect from Schumer's clowns and the Democratic representatives in Congress? This is definitely proof that we need term limits in Congress. Please visit www.deplorable-nation.com for articles, podcasts, and other items of interest. Until next time, we'll see you.
Well, that hit the spot.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.